Todd and Julie Chrisley are being held in horror conditions, including black mold, asbestos, and snakes slithering on the floor, according to their children Savannah and Chase. According to their children, former reality television stars Todd and Julie Chrisley are being held in nightmare conditions at the 2 minimum security prisons where they are serving their combined 19-year term. Savannah Chrisley and her brother Chase said in the latest episode of their podcast, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, released on Tuesday, that the facilities where their parents are incarcerated are unfit for purpose because they have black mold, asbestos, and, in Julie's case, snakes slithering on the floor. At the beginning of the episode, Savannah told listeners that Chase recently visited their father and got to hear about the cluster of everything going on at his facility, which they both described as a nightmare. Savannah said that things weren't any better at Julie's facility, describing what their mother has been through as insane. Todd, 54, and Julie, 50, were found guilty of bank fraud and tax evasion last year and were sentenced to prison in January. Todd is imprisoned at the federal prison camp in Pensacola, Florida, and Julie is imprisoned at the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky. In response to Savannah's accusation in February that her mother's prison lacked air conditioning, Chase stated, "Now they both have no air. They're both in states where it can get to be 100 degrees and there's no air conditioning." Chase explained, "I mean, air conditioning is the least of my problems. When there's black mold, asbestos, lead-based paint, and snakes," Savannah explained. Savannah then claimed that their mom has snakes just casually slithering on the floor in front of her and had seen snakes in her cell, literally right there where her bed is. According to Chase, the prison guard's way of dealing with the problem was by providing prisoners with mace, a brand of pepper spray, to spray at the reptiles. "That to me is an issue," Savannah said. "No shit. I don't care if you killed somebody, if you're in a government facility, you should have air conditioning," Chase responded. "At the end of the day, it's my parents," he added. "I mean, I don't think anyone else feels sorry for them. People are not sympathetic until they are in the circumstance and it is their loved one," Savannah concurred, adding it's a different story when your loved one is literally sitting there having heatstroke and ending up in a hospital or not being fed properly. "There are some disgusting things that will come to light," she concluded. "It will leave people speechless about what happens in the facilities. I'm prepared for that time. It's insane to sit there and see mom and dad go through that, but happily, they're fighting." However, in February, a representative for FMC Kentucky told Insider that for privacy, safety, and security reasons, we do not release information on the conditions of confinement for any inmate or group of inmates. Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted in June 2022 of defrauding banks out of more than $30 million by providing fake financial statements to make them appear wealthier than they were. Their sentences were announced in November of that year. Todd, who prosecutors called the mastermind of the couple's years-long tax and bank fraud scheme, was sentenced to 12 years, while Julie, who prosecutors believed played a lesser role, was sentenced to 7 years. They began their sentences on January 17.